Okay, so today what we're going to do is cover setting up our Firebase emulators. This video is designed for our experience design and mainly for our API integration engineers. So setting up our emulators are going to be the first step in many of our Carolina core projects. So let's walk through setting them up now. All right, so the first thing that we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to go ahead and change directory to the directory that we store our projects in. For my computer here, that is a folder called code. And now from there, we are going to make a new folder for our emulators. So we can just do make directory emulators. We will cd into that directory. And now I have already installed my Firebase CLI. So you will need to have previously done that. Once you've installed it once, you should be good to go. So that's why we will not cover it in this video. But from here, we will do Firebase init. And this is just the command to start our Firebase project. All right. And so here it's going to walk us through our setup, and we are going to select Firestore, functions, storage, and emulators. So those four. We will not be using those four always in each of our projects, but in order to standardize this, usually I will set up those four for each of the Carolina core projects, and then if we don't end up using them, we won't use them. All right, once we've selected those, we can press enter to proceed. It will ask us whether or not we want to create a new project or use existing. I always go ahead and make a previous project directly from the Firebase console, and then here I will just select that project. So we will use the existing project. It will go to Firebase and find the ones for my account, and we'll use Carolina Core. All right, there's going to be a series of setup questions to which we can just accept the default. So right now it's asking what file should the Firestore rules be stored, and default is perfect for that. The Firestore indexes, default is perfect. We will switch to using TypeScript here for our cloud functions. And then do we want to use ESLint? Yes, we do want to use ESLint. That will get us into the habit of writing our functions in a preferred style. Do we want to install dependencies? Yes. So that will run for just a moment. But here we're done. So now our storage setup, storage rules, again, we can accept default for our emulators setup. We're going to have the authentication, the functions, Firestore, and then the storage emulator setup. And once we have those selected, we can just press enter. We can accept the defaults for all of the ports here. So the Firebase CLI does a really good job of picking defaults for us. There we go. And then would we like to use a emulator UI? Yes, we definitely want the emulator UI. Which port? We'll just go ahead and leave that blank, and it will pick a port for us when we start. Now, would we like to download the emulators? We can go ahead and select yes. All of those things are complete. And now all we have to do to go ahead and start our emulators is to do the following command, and that is Firebase Emulators start. We will have the only flag to say which emulators we want to have start, and that will be the four that we selected: auth, Firestore, functions, and storage. We can see all of those are starting up here. All right, perfect. From here, if we scroll up, we will see that our UI is at this location here. So we can just type this into any of our browsers. And so let's go ahead and refresh here, and we'll see that we have our Firebase UI up and loaded here. Let me go ahead and drop my avatar there. All right, so on our Firebase UI, we see that our authentication service is up and running, our Firestore emulator, and we can go ahead and go to Firestore database. There's nothing in it yet. We'll be adding stuff there throughout the course of the project. There are no users provided, but we can very easily set one up. And let's see. We can also look at our logs for functions, but as we have not created any functions yet, you will see it says it cannot find any definitions. And that is completely fine. Our emulators are up and running, and now we have a good base to continue on with our project. I will see you in the next video.